Knowing the order of operations is super important, especially in algebra when we'll be doing order of operations problems with variables. So before we introduce variables into these problems, we're just going to take a look at a few problems without variables just as a refresher of what to do. Now, order of operations in class we say follows the rules of GEMDAS. G stands for groupings. That means parentheses or brackets or braces. Any kind of symbol that holds work together, that's what you do first. Once you've done that, you can do your exponents, which are those tiny little numbers that sit kind of like a hat at the top of a base number. Then we do multiplication and division. This arrow helps remind us that we do multiplication and division at the same time. When we read the problem from left to right, we do whatever we read first. If we read multiplication first, great, that's what we do. If we read division first, that's what we do. It is not saying that you always multiply before you divide. It's saying whichever one you read as you're reading the problem. That arrow applies also for addition and subtraction, whatever order you see it in. Let's practice. Alright, if I look here, I'm looking at my original problem, and I like to write out GEMDAS in each problem just as a little checklist. I do not have any grouping symbols, so I can check that off. Move on down. I do not have any exponents. Great. I do have multiplication and division, and because of this arrow, I'm going to do it from left to right. So left to right, right here. That's what I'm doing first. Now I know it's kind of annoying, but I really, really, really do require that you rewrite the whole problem every step. Otherwise you will lose your spot and you will get the wrong answer. Okay, still gonna check. Do I have any more multiplication and division? Ooh, right here. Yes. Alright, so multiplying and dividing, rewrite the whole problem. 8 divided by 4 is 2. Okay, going down. Do I have any more multiplication and division? Nope, I can check that level off. How about addition and subtraction, left to right, whatever I see first? Oops, I see subtraction first. So I'm going to do 44 minus 20, which is 24. Rewrite 24 plus 2. I still have addition and subtraction. I'm going to do that one. 24 plus 2 is 26. I'm all done with all of my operators, all of my symbols, and I just have my final answer. Let's try another one. Alright, checking my list. Do I have any grouping symbols? Yes, I do, right here. So that's what's going first. I'm going to rewrite my whole problem. 14 divided by 2 times 3 plus, we say this as 8 to the power of 2 minus, keeping my parentheses, 12 plus 4 is 16. Now, I like to keep my parentheses just to be safe because sometimes you'll see numbers snuggled up right outside your parentheses. That means that we're multiplying. And if you drop your parentheses, you might accidentally think, oh, that's the number, oh, I erased most of it. That's the number 216. Definitely not the case. Now, we don't have anything being multiplied here, so I can choose to drop them, but I always rewrite them just to be safe, and then I can evaluate later and decide whether or not I still need them. Okay, groupings are done because I only have one number inside my parentheses. Whether or not I choose to drop them depends on the problem, but if there's only one number inside, I can check it off. All right, next up, exponents. Yes, I do. I have 8 to the power of 2. Now, exponents mean the base, the big number, times itself, the number of times of the exponents. So this is 8 times 8, which is 64. And I'm going to rewrite the rest of the problem. 14 divided by 2 times 3 plus this 64 minus, I'm going to drop my parentheses right now because there's no multiplication going on. So I'm just going to leave it like that. Alright, exponents are done. Next up, multiplying and dividing, whatever I see first. First up, I see division. 14 divided by 2 is 7, times 3 plus 64 minus 16. Still have some multiplying and dividing. 21 plus 60, whoa, that's not a 6, plus 64 minus 16. No more multiplying and dividing. Check it off. Adding and subtracting, whatever comes first as I read left to right. 21 plus 64 is 85, minus 16 is going to be 69. There's my final answer. I'm all done there. Alrighty, here's an example of a problem that has two grouping symbols. So here's how I'm going to handle it. I'm reading my problem. 2 snuggled up to a grouping symbol is going to mean I'm going to multiply. Alright, I'm going to go inside these grouping symbols, and I'm going to follow my order of operations inside my grouping symbols. Check for groupings. Yes, I have groupings inside my grouping symbol, and since I'm following order of operations inside my blue brackets, that's what I'm going to do first, the green parentheses. 8 minus 6 is 2. Rewrite my whole problem. 2 brackets. That means multiplying because there's no symbol in between. 3 plus 4. Notice there's no symbol between the 4 and the green parentheses. That's why I keep them even if there's only one number, because that does mean that I'm going to be multiplying. And 4 times 2 we know is not 42. Divided by 2. Close my brackets. Alright. I'm done with groupings for now inside the blue brackets, so I'm going to move on to exponents. No exponents inside the blue brackets. Great. Is there multiplying and dividing? Why, yes, there is. 2 times everything inside these blue brackets, which is 3 plus 4 times 2 is 8, divided by 2. All right, any more multiplying and dividing? Yes, there is. 2 times 3 plus 4. Done with the multiplying and dividing. Adding and subtracting, yep, right here. 2 times 7. Close my brackets. I'm all done now with my order of operations inside of those blue brackets. So I'm going to go back to the top. Are there any groupings? I'm going to say no, because there's no parentheses or brackets that have more than one number. Are there any exponents? No. Is there any multiplying and dividing? Yes. 2 times 7 right here is 14. And I can end it there because I'm down to one number. Let's try a few more real quick. Here we have an exponent inside our parentheses, and the next one we're going to look at, we're going to have an exponent outside the parentheses. These are two different things. Okay, so do you have any grouping symbols? Yes, you do. These ones right here. Inside my grouping symbols, I'm going to check. Do I have any more grouping symbols? No. Do I have any exponents? Yes. 4 plus parentheses 2 to the power of 3 means 2 times 2 times 2. 1, 2, 3 times. 2 times 2 is 4. Here's something that I've noticed a lot of people doing. They're suddenly changing this to a plus sign. If it's a multiplying sign, a times sign, it stays times. 2, that's 8. Okay, so I'm going to replace this right here with 8 minus 6 divided by 2. Okay, done with my exponents. Do I have any multiplying and dividing inside my grouping symbol? No. Do I have any adding or subtracting inside my grouping symbol? Yes. 4 plus 2 divided by 2. I am all done with the order of operations inside my parentheses. So now I'm going back to the outside. Do I have any other grouping symbols with this whole expression? No. Do I have any exponents? No. Do I have any multiplying or dividing? Yes, right here. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 4 plus 1. Done with my multiplying and dividing. Do I have any adding or subtracting? Yes. 4 plus 1 is 5. Last problem. Here's an exponent on the outside. So, do I have any groupings? Yes. 3 to the power of 2 times 1 plus 1 is 2. Here's another reason to keep those exponents. Because check it out. Keep those parentheses rather. The parentheses are telling you, oh hey, don't forget about this guy. That is raising to the power anything that is inside your grouping symbols. Minus 22. Okay, done with my groupings. Do I have any exponents? Yes, I have 2 of them. I'm going to start from left to right. 3 to the power of 2 means 3 times 3, which is 9. Times 2 to the power of 2 means 2 times 2. Clarifying point. It means this base 2 times this base 2, 2 number of times. It does not mean this 2 times this 2. That is not correct, because over back here you did not do this 3 times this 2. 3 to the power of 2 is 9, not 6. That's 4. Alright, done with my exponents. Multiplying and dividing. 9 times 4 is 36. No more multiplying or dividing. Adding and subtracting. Subtract away. 14. And that is some examples. Those are some examples of order of operations without variables. Later in this unit, we'll start looking at order of operations with variables.